This lesson is going to cover the order of operations. The order of operations is just a method that we use to solve mathematical expressions. And we can remember the order of operations with these letters, P, E, M, D, A, S. And I like to remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What these mean are parentheses. Oh, let me get my pen here. So we got parentheses. We have exponents. Then we have multiplication. We have division. And we have addition and subtraction. This is the order that we always go in. So whatever expression that we have to solve, we always have to solve our parentheses first, then our exponents. We do multiplication and division together, and then we do addition and subtraction together. So let's try one here. We have 5 times 2 plus 7. Now if those parentheses weren't there, we would have to do our multiplication first, because multiplication comes before addition. However, we do have parentheses here, so that means that we have to do this work here first. We have to do 2 plus 7 first, and that gives us 9. We have times 5, so we have 5 times 9. That gives us 45, and that's our final answer. So you have to look at the problem, and you have to decide what operations are happening in this problem. Here we had addition and multiplication, but we also had parentheses. So we had to figure out what order do I solve this in first. Let's try another one. Okay, here now we're going to have 90 minus 10 divided by 2 plus 3. Now first we have to look at all of the different operations that are happening in this problem. We have subtraction, division, and addition. We also have parentheses, so that's the first thing that we have to look for is parentheses. So we have to solve what's inside of these parentheses first. So we're going to have to solve all of this first. Now, once we're inside of the parentheses, we also have to follow the order of operations. So which one comes first, division or addition? Well, you can see division comes first. So we're going to have to do 10 divided by 2 first of all. So we have 10 divided by 2 is 5 plus 3. So we have our 5 plus 3 and 90 minus that quantity. Well, 5 plus 3 is still inside of parentheses. So we're going to have to do what's inside parentheses again first. 5 plus 3 is 8. So now we're just left with 90 minus 8, and we get 82 for our final answer. The next problem that we're going to do, we're going to look at 24 minus 4 times 6 minus 5 plus 5, and then we have a bracket. A bracket is just another form of parentheses. So we actually have a couple parentheses in this problem. We've got our brackets, but then we have parentheses inside of the brackets. So we're going to have to do this 6 minus 5 first. So that's the first one that we're going to do. 6 minus 5 is 1. We're left with 4. We've got to keep our brackets there. 4 times 1 plus 5, and we're going to take 24 minus that entire quantity. Now our brackets, we treat those just like parentheses. So now we have to look inside of these parentheses. We have multiplication and addition. Well, multiplication comes first in our order of operations. So we're going to do this multiplication first here. 4 plus 5. We have 24 minus that quantity. 24 minus 4 plus 5 is 9. So now we're left with 15 as our final answer. Now at first this problem looks a little bit easier because it just has addition, multiplication, the things that we're used to. There's no parentheses or exponents there. But we have to be very careful with these problems to make sure that we are solving them correctly. So we have addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. You can see multiplication and division come first in the order of operations. So we've got to take care of 4 times 3 and 8 divided by 2 first. Now, whenever it comes to multiplication and division and addition and subtraction, you've got to do them in order from left to right as they appear. So we're going to do 4 times 3 first. So we have 6 plus 4 times 3 is 12 minus, now we're going to do 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now in this problem, I guess it really didn't matter which order we did them in because they're separated by a subtraction sign. But if you had a problem that looked like this, 4 times 3 divided by 2, well, you would have to do this multiplication first, and then whatever that product is, divide that by 2. Okay, so that's where it is very important that you go in order from left to right. Now we have our addition and subtraction, and when we are down to addition and subtraction, we're going to go in order from left to right again. So you've got to do 6 plus 12 first, which is 18, minus 4. That gives us 14 for our final answer. Okay, now in this problem here, we have brackets again and some parentheses. So we've got to look at our brackets first, and then we've got to go to the innermost parentheses and solve those and work our way out. So we have our 4 plus 1, and that's what we're going to have to solve first. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 16 times 5 is in brackets. We treat those brackets just like parentheses. So now we're going to take our calculator here and do 16 times 5, and we get 80. We get 80 divided by 10, and that gives us 8 for our final answer. So whenever you have parentheses inside of brackets, you work your way from the inside out. You have to do the innermost parentheses first. Okay, we're looking at these parentheses now. We have 3 times 2. Parentheses are always the first thing we're going to look for. 3 times 2, so that's in parentheses. We're going to do that first. So we have 36 divided by 6 minus 1. Now notice that every time I solve a portion of the problem, I rewrite the rest of the problem exactly as it shows. So don't try to do too many steps at once because you might get confused with that. Okay, so let's go on to our next step. We have division and subtraction left over. Division comes first in the order of operations. So we're going to do 36 divided by 6 first. Since division comes before subtraction, 36 divided by 6 is 6 minus 1. We get 5 for our final answer.